Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part for coming on in, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boo, we go into the charts. Sorry, I had this NASDAQ chart open. It was respecting that 236 and boom to the downside during FOMC. We caught a smooth move on the live as well as after the live. It was a green day for me, so that was a nice little play. But let's go into BTC really quick. Boop, 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 and we'll zoom out to here. So Bitcoin got a little bit of a retrace and bounce as we were talking about a potential retrace to that golden pocket. We'll go there in a minute to see, did it go grab those 50x? Well, we have to go to High Block Capital to see that. And what is high block, you say? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss. And we get to see where those crispy characters are. So let's do that now. How's everyone doing today? Good? Good. All right, so we talked about possibly retracing down into some of these 50x, 100x characters. They did that. In the process, there were shorts opening to the tune of $140 million, so they came back for those as well, and that is just what the market does.
Fatality.
It goes down to go up and goes up to go down. And let's see, is it sustainable? We've cleared this little range of longs. Are they going to make a stab back up after trapping some of these shorts down at the bottom of support to come clear this 50x pool up at 27,239 and their partner in crime at 27,774? Let's go to the external liquidity range to find out. And on the 7-day, let's go switch the liquidity as we have to do now for some reason. And yeah, we still have some liquidity pools up in the 27.6 region on the 7-day, $8 billion that they could come back to reclaim. The imbalance on the 7-day is starting to build to on the downside, the 26.1 region having a small little band here. And if we expand to the 1 month, you'll see that there is still a potential draw to the upside to the 828.3 region, 15 billion, double digits across the board, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 billion, all the way up to 28.5 and some change, maybe $55 billion up there, less down below. So they could continue higher before their midweek reversal. Remember, it is Thursday in Asia, and so Asia could pump it into London for New York to do some manipulation of a trap and then drop it back down. So yeah, midweek reversal Thursday. And the 3 months starting to get piping hot down below at 23.6 and 23.4, some $100 billion pools down there. And the 6 month has 176 billion down there. And going to the highest pool is the imbalance down below to the tune of $253 billion at 23.6. Hasn't really changed much, but the range at the 28 is 60 billion. So coming up to that pool we just talked about, the 56 billion at 28.5. Yes, it seems to coincide with that. So coming to that region, the midway point and the reclamation of this entire drop down, seems like it could be a thing that's going to happen. So let's go into the monthly time frame where that exists so we can compare levels to Fibonacci and go into the charts. Boom, boom, boom. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. And first, let's go and see where we were right and wrong. We were talking about, I believe we were talking about coming down here, double bottoming, and then coming back up, like coming into the golden pocket. Don't have it pulled up exactly, but we were talking about coming down to this golden pocket region. We cleared the entire thing. Just to be clear, pardon the pun, they cleared this. They swept the lows. They induced all the longs, swept them up, and then brought it back to that 236. We were talking about this 236 having a hold. It's like triple confluence. You have this impulse retrace idea, which puts the 236 there. You have a 786 level from a bullish idea back here that held the 236. And you have the 236 of the bearish nature here as well. So far we're negating the bearish tone here on this impulse retrace idea, and we're holding the 236 to continue up to this pool at the 28K region. So far so good. Let's throw on the momentum. Good with the math, good with the liquidity. Now it's time for momentum time. What is this little bit of happiness? Go to the link in the description for more, momentummaster.info. Scroll down to the features tab. You can toggle everything at Bitcoin's local bottom. Not even local bottom, this is the absolute bottom at 16K, sub 16K, 15K. Before we knew it was a bottom, and it tells you about all the little components we have, including the stochastic array and the rocket ships that took off down there, and the trend cloud and all that fun stuff as it comes into prominence. This is a little bit of something to complement the original suite that I've been working on. Some price channel bands that show fatigue on both sides, and the fatigue points in white when the white comes back into the cloud, the dark cloud, and you hit that trend dot and start to reverse it. It gives you a little bit more insinuation before the move, so you can take profits ahead of time. So going back into this dot would have been an interesting idea for ABC to the downside here. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so we're going to turn it off though, because that's not yet, we use it for the scalping on NASDAQ, but we're not going to unveil that for Bitcoin just yet, but it works just the same. It's fractal across everything. So now here we go. Let's start our descent through the time frames. I must get going as I have an early day today at work. So one interesting thing that we were talking about was this curvature of the daily cloud, and it's starting to thin. And even if we make it up to this region, for example, if we make it up to here, at some point you're going to come back and kiss this cloud, and then do you see a reaction off that cloud to go higher? We normally come out above the cloud and then come back to kiss it, so that's just something to note. Stochastic RSI, so in these cases, all the way back from Saturday, has been unreliable, so you can't just have stochastic RSI for probability and momentum on your charts. That's why Momentum Master includes everything, including a leading MACD that still shows no signs of abating, and the Williams with the open momentum waves to the upside continuing to go. And we were talking about this reminder down here with this little dot. We had a cross-up event on the 3-day that we were talking about back on Wednesday of last week. So Wednesday of last week, over a week ago, we were insinuating the subtle support of the 3-day, and now you're starting to see how that 3-day really does damage when it crosses up on the baselines. And similarly, when we talked about the cross down event on Monday, July 24th, and we saw this huge move to the downside. So the 3-day time frame with Momentum Master and these baselines is pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. If we go to the 5-day time frame, we have the KD line starting to go to the upside here. The baselines still have yet to cross, but they're kind of taking time to, the cross down events are so out there in space that it's not as immediate as the 3-day. The 3-day is the one that's the bread and butter for that suppression. So are we going to get that suppression to the upside on the 3-day? The angle of these crossing is still open quite nicely. Just now starting to get a rising sun event on the 3-day. Did we have an event that played out? There was one down here at the January time, coming up out from January. Okay, so that's the last time we had the 3-day Williams that low. We did have one here, but we crossed up before it made a rising sun. So interesting to note. Now let's go to the 22-hour time frame. 22-hour is pinned on the stochastic. You're getting a double top potential on the Williams. No alarm just yet. Money flow beneath the RSI could get a punch up here, just like we were talking about, to that 28K. The money flow coming beneath the RSI does suggest an insinuation of the money flow coming back to the RSI, which means a wind-up pitch to the upside perhaps on the 22-hour time frame. 12-hour, the average of itself coming up to that zone we were talking about. We were saying when it was back here that this average normally gravitates back up if you're in a bullish state. So even though this KD line was pinned since Thursday of the 14th, we've basically been pinned because of this drift caused by the Williams momentum indicators. All right, so going to the 6-hour time frame. 6-hour time frame, flirting with the idea of an alarm to reset this, though the KD lines are holding this region between oversold and neutral, and the money flow and the RSI flirting just above 50 to continue higher on the 6-hour time frame. We're going to delete that little obnoxious error real quick and take a look at the momentum waves of the cloud, the volume weighted trend cloud here that we bounced off of and got confirmation as it thins. This is what it does. You get this thinning and this reclamation and bounce idea happens over and over, and especially on the smaller time frames. So this is what we use for our scalping techniques in NASDAQ. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, 4-hour closing out a candle in the golden pocket region, coming up here, getting the cross down event on the 4-hour. Cloud still strong to the upside. The bullish super trend still holding since our rocket ships of last week on Tuesday. So everything good in the hood if you just follow this 4-hour time frame. Cloud kiss, cloud kiss, cloud kiss. Are we getting this third kiss to continue up to this region? Could be entirely possible. Once you get to the outskirts of this channel, we always chill out. So until we get back up to this channel, perhaps we don't have to worry about an abating run up here. Going to the hourly time frame though, you're seeing the clouds start to wane. What do I mean by that? Well, the angle here is curving in a manner insinuating a potential rejection and then coming back down kind of thing. Oops. So watching how this hourly reacts to the cloud. Cloud on the hourly does go all sorts of ways here. We were talking about it on Saturday about reclaiming the cloud and possibly shooting up, and then we stuck by our guns on Monday and sure enough got that call to the upside. Now, can we do it again? The hourly time frame ambiguously bouncing off the 50 level. The one thing that's insinuating the continuation of the bullish nature is the money flow beneath the RSI, suggesting that it bursts up here and gets you that move to the upside. Do we get this hourly play to reclaim the cloud and bring some juice and life back into this thinning nature of it? And the curvature, it's entirely possible. It does shift and undulate more than the others because it's a lower time frame, so don't take it as seriously, but you should take it seriously in terms of whether you're above or beneath it. We talked about that back here. We were putting an ABC projection out on Monday. That's what it was. We were talking about an ABC projection, but had you been looking at Momentum Master, you would have seen this cloud reclamation here. So what does it do at the cloud when the cloud is thinning? That is where you see the special sauce and this reclaiming of the weight, the adaptive moving average as well. So can we do it again? Right now we're above the cloud on the 15. Close the candle above it. That's looking like a sign of life, and that 1 hour indecision point is right here and now at the 27.130 region. So we're at that 236 point for these mathematical confluences to be bullish or bearish essentially. So as long as we stay above this 27k, we've been saying it since Saturday, close out some candles significantly above this 27.84, then you're basically slated to come into these pools. And we've been tapping into the 27.4 pool for some time, all the way up to the wick of the 706 here at 27.446. Can we get another follow through up to the upside? So remember, Asia likes to, if Asia pumps, then Asia generally passes the baton off to, like here, pre-market pump at 11 o'clock my time, fade into London. London consolidates, brings it down. So this kind of like fade into London / New York is par for the course on Asia. Asia, like if they pre-market pump, they like to follow it with the dump rather than a maintaining of it. So if you see some sort of pump up here to this region, just beware that it could come tumbling down. So that would put you about at the 11 o'clock mark, something like that. We're not going to try to predict too far into the future, but if you get a pump up into these regions, I would not be surprised. You do have the pools on the, but that's in the 28K region. 28K would put you all the way up here in the 1618. So we'll see, what does the hourly give, and how does the hourly hold the cloud? The 4 hour has reset, so what is some other higher time frame or medium time frame insinuation? This cloud holding for the time being, the reset of the stochastic RSI while going sideways in price action. Sideways price action, reset of stochastic RSI. You had previous bearish divergence here, which played out for the most part. Now you're getting the money flow beneath the RSI, suggesting a wind-up pitch continuation. So you got some subtle support of the 4 hour. One thing to be mindful of is this alarm, but you're starting to cross back up on the Williams, saying that that alarm is a false alarm for now. The 6 hour wick here is also a bullish, objectively bullish signal. How do we know it's objectively bullish? Well, you take a retrace and you go from wick to wick, and we can say, if we change this, hold on, if we change this to shallow, if the body comes above the 382 here at 27,110, that is objectively bullish, even though it is a purple candle. From wick to wick, if the body closes within the 382 region up here, the upper third, then it is objectively bullish. So this candle closing in the next 20 minutes above this 27,110, which also it's like quadruple confirmation of this 27K needing to hold, is what is showing needs to happen here. And the 6 hour cloud also healthy. One thing to note is that alarm, but the ambiguousness of the money flow beneath the RSI and this KD line looking to cross up and potentially move. You're getting low volume, slightly picking up a little bit in the last 6 hours. So we'll see. For the time being, I'm suggesting that if it holds this 27K, we could be seeing these pools up above. Basically unchanged from yesterday. So we did go sideways from yesterday. So this entire FOMC thing, if you were scalping it, more power to you, but basically a day and 12 hours of sideways action. So it could continue for Thursday. I have no idea, but it is midweek reversal. So we'll see. So that was much ado about nothing, but it was basically waxing euphoric of the price action as we had it. Nothing really to change here. Yeah, holding that 27K. Cross down event on the 4 hour is the one contradiction to the bullish narrative of this reset of the stochastic. Watch out for the suppression if these start to open up and you get suppressed by these baselines, which we're not closing with conviction above just yet. So you need to close above 27,221 and start getting these a candle with conviction above these 706 regions at 27,446. So you have this math in your favor. You can screenshot that and take it to the bank if you want. Do what you want to do in living color. So that's where we're going to stop for now, but for the time being, I think the price action is suggesting coming up into these pools. How far into do you go? We're not going to say, but basically the hourly bounce / 4 hour bounce of this golden pocket off the cloud idea could come to fruition. You're still in this bullish super trend, so take it for what it's worth. And thank you for coming on in. I gotta go, so I'll see you for the NQ futures later today. And thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you for the New York NQ futures open.